the meeting to order of the Santa Cruz Libraries Facility Financing Authority, the regular board meeting on Thursday, April 7th, 2022. So can we have a roll call, please?
Director Goldstein? Director Goldstein? Okay. Chair Legault?
Here.
Vice Chair Palacios?
Here.
Director Harfucker?
Here.
Great. So do we have any additional materials to add to the agenda today? No? All right. Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No additions or deletions.
All right, so we'll move into oral communications. This is an opportunity for members of the audience or the public to address the board on any matter, either on or off the agenda that's within the board's jurisdiction. So do we have any general public comment this morning? No? Looks like
there are no public
multiple
comments.
channels, but I'm looking around, doesn't look like we have any public comment. So let's move into the library director report. We'll turn it over to Yolande.
Thank you, Chair Legault. The library director's report has been attached for your review. I will just mention one thing from the report. We did submit for a scenic grant to be able to rewire our Boulder Creek Library facility. We were approved for that grant. In fact, I got to check this morning, so that's great. And construction work has already begun to pull the fiber and to set up the server and the router that will be taking, will be replacing the old equipment that was at Boulder Creek. So we anticipate that that will not cause any further delays. Staff are continuing to place books, materials on the shelf, get the furniture all installed. So we should be looking forward to opening in early.
Great. Do any board members have any questions about the library director report? Oh, Jamie.
Yes, good morning. I would just note that the sound, Molly, I can hear you quite well. Director Wilburn, I couldn't hear the director's report.
Sounds.
All right, we're going to do a quick sound check. See if we can improve that sound.
Okay, can you hear me? Director Goldstein?
That sounds better. There's a lot of echo, but I can hear you.
Great. So I'll just add, since I'll repeat it so you can hear. I just added to the report, to the director's written report, that I received the scenic grant funding. The check came in the mail this morning, and we have already begun to move forward with replacing the fiber and the server and router equipment at the Boulder Creek Library. We do not anticipate that that will cause any additional delays.
Thank you.
There are no public comments from the Zoom audience.
Calendar. We have 2 items on the consent calendar. Would anyone like to, is there anyone like to pull an item from the consent calendar? Or is there any public comment regarding the consent calendar?
There are no public comments from the Zoom audience on the LFFA consent calendar.
All right, then I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I will move the consent calendar.
Second.
Great, thank you. And roll call, please.
Director Goldstein,
Aye.
Chair Legault,
Yes,
Vice Chair Palacios,
Yes.
Director Hopper.
Yes.
great. So the next item is general business, and it doesn't look like we have any general business on the agenda today for this agenda.
That is correct.
So any project updates and comments by board members? Not seeing any. All right, so finally, we have our next scheduled meeting will be on May 5th. It looks like here back at the Felton Branch is a hybrid meeting. So with that, we will adjourn this meeting and start our next meeting. So let me get over to that agenda. All right, so we'll reconvene as the Library Joint Powers Authority. We'll call the meeting to order, and can we get a roll call, please?
Director Goldstein,
Here.
Chair Legault,
Yes, here.
Vice Chair Palacios,
Here.
Director Hoffaker.
Here.
All right, do we have any additional materials added to this agenda?
There are none.
All right, any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No additions or deletions to the agenda, Chair Legault.
Thank you. All right, we'll move into oral communications. Again, this is an opportunity for the public to address the board on any matter either on or off the agenda that's within the board's jurisdiction. Do we have any general public comment today?
Chair Legault, there are no public comments from the Zoom audience.
Great, thank you. So moving on to the report by the library director.
Thank you, Chair Legault. The Library Director's Report is attached in your agenda packet for your review. I will just highlight a couple of items. One, this is National Library Week, and so we're really thrilled to be celebrating libraries across the country. In addition, on Tuesday, we actually recognized our employees during National Library Workers Day. I want to really thank all of our fantastic staff for continuing to do a phenomenal job under what are difficult circumstances throughout the pandemic and over the last year. I'd like to thank our Friends of the Library for contributing to our National Library Workers Day by providing breakfast, coffee, fruits to all of our staff members, and also to our management team. They really worked hard to put this all together. I think our team really appreciated it and really were able to reflect and have a mental health break to really help support our continuation of doing fantastic services for the community of Santa Cruz County. I also want to just take a moment to highlight a program that's going to be going on this evening. It's our Book to Action program. We did receive a grant for $5,791. It was featuring the book Golden Gates, Fighting for Housing in America by Connor Doherty. This evening, there will be a conversation with the author. So we're really thrilled. That's going to take place at our downtown library at 6:30 p.m. this evening. And you are welcome to join us via Zoom or in person. Thank you. I'm happy to take any questions.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Jamie, are you hearing okay? Good. All right, are there any public comments on the library director report?
No public comment.
Seeing none? All right, we'll accept that report and move on to the report by the Friends of the Santa Cruz Public Libraries.
Hello?
Okay. Thank you, Chair Legault. Members of the board, nice to be with you. Particularly nice to be with you here in this beautiful library, the first of the renovated libraries from Measure S. And also particularly nice because my home is about 3/4 of a mile down the road. So again, good to be with you. This will be a relatively short report. What I'd like to do is just give you an update on the funds that we will be transferring to the library this year. We, as you know, we've wrapped up the Realizing the Promise campaign successfully last year. I have provided Director Wilburn and Assistant Director Howard and their staff with a summary of the results and by branch and what was available. Of the million sum that we raised, about a little over 120,000 is still held back in pledges. We allowed people to make 2 to 3 year pledges. So those funds will come in this year and next. So this year, I anticipate being able to transfer about 880,000 to the library. And I expect that we will do that here in the month of April, which is library month. So that's a good time to do it. Also, the Sulzner funds, you may recall, we received a fairly large grant from the Sulzner family some years ago that provides $14,300 for each new library branch as it reopens for the purchase of mystery books. And we made a final distribution of $57,200, excuse me, for the last 4 libraries. So we are now complete with that, with distribution of that fund. And we certainly thank the Sulzner family for their generosity. We will be providing about 60,000 to the library for their annual requests for funds from the Friends. We'll do that, I expect, this month as well. Those funds this year are primarily for the summer reading program, which is just so important. Kids lose the ability to read, demonstrably over the summer, and this program helps to keep that from happening. We'll also be providing funds in that for the opening events for the 5 libraries that will open this year, for some hybrid tech, for some to help meetings like this, for some lendable tech, and we, as noted earlier, we put in a little extra for National Library Workers Day, and we're very happy to do that. In addition, I am pleased to announce that Dr. Monica Parikh has joined the board. She tells me she is an avid reader of female Asian and Asian American writers, particularly short story writers. She is the director of the summer session up at UC Santa Cruz. She received her PhD from the University of Buffalo. She great deal of experience in nonprofit organizational issues and fundraising, and we are just delighted to have her as part of our board. And then finally, our main focus for 2022, continues to be support for the mixed use project. Having taken a tour yesterday of the downtown library, which at some points was frankly scary, we are more convinced than ever that this is the right way to go. So thank you very much for your time. Pleasure to see you all, and I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Thank you. It's a great report. So wonderful to see everything that the Friends are contributing to our library system. Are there any questions from our board members or comments?
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no questions for me, but thank you for the fantastic work and continued support, and appreciate the work you did and time you took to also tour the downtown library main branch. We're excited about the mixed use project and the Friends' continued support to get that project over the finish line. So thank you.
Are there any public comments on the Friends report?
There are no public comments from the Zoom audience on the Friends report.
Okay, well, thank you so much again. Moving on, our next item is a report by the Library Advisory Commission.
Do we have a representative from the LAC on the call?
I remember last month we didn't get a report, and maybe we don't have someone this month either. All right, well, we can move on to the consent calendar. All right, so next is the consent calendar, and I believe we did receive a public comment requesting to pull item 8F from the consent calendar.
Correct. We did receive a public comment to pull item 8F. The comment reads, it is from Judy Grunstra. I was aware that the Santa Cruz City Council had approved a Juneteenth holiday. It appears the library will close on 2 days, Sunday, June 19, as well as Monday, June 20. The quote, observed, end quote, holiday, city offices closed. While other city offices are closed on Sundays, but the library is open, why is it necessary to close the library on 2 days? How will this work in future years when June 19th falls midweek, for example? Will the library close on that day as well as the nearest Monday observed holiday? I would like this item pulled from the consent agenda and discussed. Thank you, Judy Grunstra.
Great, thank you. So looking for a motion to approve the consent calendar minus item 8F, and we'll move that to our general business calendar.
Okay, I'll move the consent calendar, items A through E.
Second.
Great, thank you. And roll call, please.
Director Goldstein, sorry.
Aye.
Chair Legault,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palacios,
Yes.
Director Haffika.
Yes.
Okay, so let's, do we want to pick up item 8F now or put it at the end of the regular calendar? Do it now?
We can take item 8F now.
Okay, great.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Okay. Chair Legault, yes, item 8F is with regard to the City of Santa Cruz adopting Juneteenth, June 19th, as a holiday, an official holiday. And so the city does recognize the Monday, the 20th this year, as the closure day. Past practice with holidays that fall on a Sunday are that the library typically would close both on Sunday and the Monday. The vast majority of our staff, our team members, work on Monday through Friday. Those are the busier days. There are a handful of staff that typically work on Sundays to be able to cover the 4-hour shift that we're open at our locations. And so again, as past practice has it, typically when the holiday falls on a Sunday, we're not going to open on the Sunday. Staff do not get paid for both days. They get the holiday pay. They can opt to take the other day off without pay or work an alternate day during the week, or to make up for that day that they would be possibly missing. But again, they get the holiday pay on the Monday.
And in future years, if Juneteenth falls not on a weekend, the holiday is observed on the actual 19th
Holiday.
of June.
Correct,
Yeah, so it wouldn't be observed
correct,
on a Monday.
Correct. And so the way that the MOUs read, as is outlined in item 8F, typically when holidays fall on a Saturday, you celebrate the Friday before. And when they fall on a Sunday, you celebrate the official day on Monday.
Right.
But if it falls midweek, it's on that day. It is that actual day that we close. We don't close any additional days.
Great, thank you for that explanation. Are there any comments or questions from our board on that item? Any additional public comment?
There are no public comments from our Zoom audience, Chair Legault.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion regarding item 8F.
Chair, I move approval of item 8F.
Second.
Great, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Director Goldstein,
Aye.
Chair Legault,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palacios,
Yes.
Director Hoffaker.
Yes.
Great, thank you. So next we'll move on to our general business, item 9 on the agenda. And the first item is the fiscal year 22-23 operating budget assumptions for draft budget proposal. So Director Wilbur.
Thank you, Chair Legault. We've included in here some of our budget assumptions for the coming year. We are happy to discuss any items that the board has any questions on.
Do we have any questions from our board members?
So I guess I do have a question. So for the revenue projections, when the staff report says that there's no change in the revenue assumptions, does that mean you're assuming flat revenue, or is there a growth factor associated with either the MOE or the sales tax?
So at this time, we are not projecting any increase in assumptions. And we are basing our budget on the continuation as it has been. I know that there are some financial issues that we're looking into right now with regard to the MOEs. And so we did not want to make some assumptions here when we were unsure of what those changes or adjustments might be.
Thank you.
Any other questions from board members? Do we have any public comment on this item?
Chair Legault, there are no public comments from the Zoom audience.
Okay, so the staff recommendation we have is to review and discuss the assumptions. So it doesn't look like we're voting on anything. We're just reviewing those and asking any questions at this time. And we'll be having further budget discussions at future meetings.
Correct. That will be at next month's meeting.
Perfect. All right. So the next item is our Boulder Creek Branch Library lease agreement.
Thank you, Chair Legault. Our recommendation is that the board accept the Boulder Creek lease agreement that we've received. That is included in your packet for review.
Are there any questions or comments from the board?
I'll just comment that I'll thank the library staff and in particular our General Services Department and Nicole Coburn, Assistant CAO, for their work on the lease agreement and all the lease structure for the other libraries as well.
Great, thank you. Any public comment on this item?
Chair Legault, there are no public comments from the Zoom audience.
Great, and I'll just add, I'm looking forward to the next lease agreement I know that we'll be working together on is for the Scotts Valley branch. So we're going to be kicking off that process soon. So looking for a motion to approve the attached lease agreement between the County of Santa Cruz and the Santa Cruz Public Libraries for the Boulder Creek Library facility located at 13390 West Park Avenue in Boulder Creek.
I'll move approval of the lease agreement.
Second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote, please.
Director Goldstein,
Aye.
Chair Legault,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palacios,
Yes.
Director Hoffaker.
Yes.
Great. Our next item is a presentation on the summer reading program by Heather Norquist, Youth Programs and Services Manager.
Thank you, Chair Legault. As Heather takes her seat and gets set up here, I just want to say a big thank you. Our youth services team begins early on planning. In December of each year, they begin planning for our summer reading program. As you are well aware, over the last couple of years, there have been challenges with being able to do that. With the pandemic, we've managed to do a lot of that online or create programming that can take place outdoors. And so at this time, I will turn it over to Heather Norquist to provide you with an update on what we'll be doing for 2022.
Good morning, everyone. Summer reading is a fun program for everyone, but it's also a valuable program because it helps
Heather, I'm
prevent.
not sure we can hear you very well.
Oh, shoot. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. Summer reading is a fun program for everyone, but it's also a valuable program because it helps prevent summer slide, learning loss that occurs when children are out of school and away from structured learning activities. Kids who don't read over the summer fall behind their peers when school starts up again, and the effects of this summer slide can last a lifetime. Our summer reading program will be very similar to last year's, using the Beanstack platform along with paper reading logs.
Sorry, I can't really hear you. Could you take off your mask?
Last summer, we reached 1,472 children ages 0 to 11, 291 teens ages 12 to 18, and 631 adults through our summer reading program. That was double the participation for the previous year, and our goal is to reach at least 25% more participants this year. Is the sound working okay? Okay. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. We're partnering with the Friends of the Santa Cruz Public Libraries, Atlantis Fantasy World, and Penny Ice Creamery again this year to provide incentives for children and teens. This year, we decided to provide a larger selection of books for each age group and also more titles in Spanish. We purchased these giveaway books at a discounted price through Scholastic Literary Partnerships. The Advisory Council of Teens chose a backpack and water bottle with our logo and some sea turtle tattoos for the 5-hour reading incentive for teens. We're still finalizing contracts for performers, but are planning for performances outdoors at all open branches. We're planning for almost all of our performer events to be in person, outdoors, or for the closed branches or where there's no suitable outdoor space, we're presenting the performances in local parks. For example, we're planning for James Henry House of Samba at the Scotts Valley Community Center and Felt Street Park in Live Oak, and Jungle James will be at Harvey West Park. Our in-house programming will be both in-person and grab and go. The grab and go craft and STEAM kits are hugely popular, so we're continuing to offer them even when we're fully open. Some in-house program examples include kids create STEAM crafts, perler beads, decorate a book bag, rock painting, and a lei craft. Oh, okay. 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 Next slide, please. We've received a grant from the California State Library to supplement Lunch at the Library funding from the library budget and the Friends. And we have 6 confirmed sites so far where we will provide pop-up summer reading programming, including distribution of free books and craft supplies. This slide shows the locations of the 6 pop-up Lunch at the Library sites. We will also provide summer reading programming at 12 bookmobile sites serving youth. Here's a map showing the locations of all of our performer events for children, including open branches, city and county parks, and the San Andreas Farm Worker Housing Site. Adults also have the opportunity to participate in summer reading with their families or on their own. Those who sign up in the first 2 weeks will be eligible to win tickets to Santa Cruz Shakespeare. Adults who complete the standard 5 hours of reading will receive an SCPL summer reading tote bag. Completing up to 20 hours of reading and participating in special activities will earn raffle tickets for prizes from local merchants. The grand prizes include a family membership to the Monterey Bay Aquarium or the Museum of Art and History. We'll have some special events this summer too, including a speaker from Santa Cruz Shakespeare and tabling at Santa Cruz Pride and Santa Cruz Juneteenth. This summer, we're also working to bring summer reading to SCPL patrons who are incarcerated. These plans are a bit tentative due to the changeability of access in serving the county correctional facilities. We're working with correction staff to bring some level of summer reading programming to SCPL patrons who are incarcerated. Youth at Juvenile Hall will receive a free graphic novel and be invited to send a written or illustrated response to the librarians. Participants will receive a prize, possibly a pizza party. Adult participants will be invited to write a response paper to something they've read and receive a free book to keep pending approval from the Sheriff's Department. We're excited to try and include our patrons who are incarcerated in our county corrections facilities. We're looking forward to providing a fun and engaging summer reading program this year and also reaching more of our community. I would like to thank the Friends for their support in providing funds for incentive books for kids, performers throughout the county, and lunch at the library programming. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Summer reading program.
If I could just comment, I thank you very much for this program. I'm so glad to have it come back. And I know that the community will be very excited about it. And I'm particularly excited about the pop-up sites and the bookmobile sites and all the outreach you're doing as well. I think that's just a great activity to get the most outreach possible. So thank you for your work on this. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Any other board member comments? I'll just echo Vice Chair Palacios' comments. It's such an important program to help our kids continue their education through the summer and not slip through that. And with a 7-year-old at home who's learning to read, it's going to be an important thing for him this summer as well. So thank you for all of your work. All right, are there any public comments?
Chair Legault, there are no public comments from the Zoom audience.
All right, doesn't look like we have any. So thank you so much, Heather, for your work. And our last item of regular business is the presentation on strategic plan, a brief update by Diane Cohen, Communications Manager for the library.
That's the end of the presentation. Can you
Thank you, Chair Legault. As Diane sets up here, I think they're just moving the slides to the start. We did meet with our programming partners. And so we had spoken with the board previously about our strategic planning sessions. So Diane is here to provide you all with a brief update on the work that we completed most recently, and then what our steps are proceeding to move forward.
Great.
Diane?
Thank you, Yolande. Hi, everybody. Can you all hear me? Okay. So go ahead and advance the slide, please. So we did hold our community partner dialogue That was on February 10th, 2022 at the Capitola Library. There were 21 attendees, including representatives from the Friends of the Library, the Library Advisory Committee, the County Office of Education, Cabrillo College, Santa Cruz City Schools, the Chamber of Commerce, the Community Foundation and Rise Together, the Diversity Center, Monterey Bay Economic Partnership, the NAACP, the United Way, and the Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office. Advance, please. The strategic planning and management teams then used the information that we gleaned from that meeting and combined it with survey data and our staff dialogues and came up with these 3 focus areas. Fostering a community that feels safe and friendly for all types of people and families, fostering an inclusive library and community, and fostering a community that is supportive. Next slide. The top goals to achieve safer and friendlier communities include creating safe spaces for everyone, including diverse community members, hiring and retaining culturally diverse staff that represent the community, fostering civil discourse, and supporting the most vulnerable in our community with mental health and other services. Next slide. So the top goals to achieve a more inclusive community include creating opportunities for diverse groups to connect, have fun, and gain a better understanding of each other, address the accessibility issues with transportation programs and collections, reevaluate our hiring practices through an equity lens to promote an inclusive and kind of grow your own culture, improve partner input to increase our collaboration, develop communication strategies that connect people with services, and to continue to work to remove barriers to information and knowledge sharing. Next slide. Top goals for fostering a community that is supportive include providing social services in the library, investing in staff development and supporting library staff, strengthening community partnerships, further aligning the work of the library with the work of the schools, to assess and continue to develop library programs that support the incarcerated and recently released, and to assess and continue to develop programs that serve low-wage workers and the unhoused. So we are now in the process of reviewing the strategic and work plans of our cities and county to determine where cross-collaboration may exist. We're then going to format the final draft plan with our vision, values, goals, and desired outcomes. We will identify key targets and develop dashboards to collect metrics and track progress. We will bring the final draft back to this board in June for feedback and final approval. And that's it.
Are there any questions or comments from our board members?
Thank you for your work on this. I do think it is such an important process for an organization to go through. And I also wanted to offer our assistance from the county in helping to meet some of these goals that you put forth in the plan. One of them with regard to the social services in the library and help with the unhoused and so forth. We have a new health services agency director, Monica Morales. We just hired a few months ago. And so I would hope that at some point we can have a meeting with her and talk about what resources she could be making available to the library. We also have a new public defender, Heather Rogers. This is the first time we've had a public defender in the county that is not a separate private contract. And so she's really trying to build up the relationships with different agencies to provide resources to the folks that she interacts with as well. And so that'd be another, I think, important outreach. So I hope that we can partner with the county. The other one is Randy Morris in our Health Services Agency, our Human Services Department. They provide all the benefit outreach. And so getting information on benefits as well would be important. So hopefully in the future, we may be able to facilitate some meetings with library staff and some of my staff to see how we could collaborate more. I would also comment on the Grow Your Own idea about promoting and fostering our own community members to be librarians. And Watsonville is something that both Matt and I pursued while we were there. In fact, Matt made a great promotion when he promoted Alicia Martinez to be the library director and in Watsonville. And she started as a page in the library, in Watsonville Library, and actually went to school with the help of the library staff and through the tuition reimbursement program. And then through encouragement went and got her master's degree in library sciences. And that was, and there's a number of folks like that in Watsonville where they've actually started as pages, and we really encourage them. And then Matt continued that tradition while he was there and promoted Alicia and others. So I would, and I'm sure there's probably stories like that in the Santa Cruz library system as well, but I would encourage us to continue to do that, because it really is so hard for people to relocate here because of the cost of living. And so, we really want to give our own youth the best chance they can. So I'd really encourage the use of internships, tuition reimbursement programs, and flexible schedules to encourage people to continue their education and give them opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Palacios. I would just add to that we will be reaching out. I know the City of Santa Cruz does a great deal of human resources trainings that we when they set out the latest brochure, I rallied staff and our training coordinator to really ensure that our staff are signing up for those opportunities. We'd love to be able to participate in some of those if the county is offering specific training programs, to see where we could maybe perhaps piggyback on some of the trainings that the county is offering as well, so that our staff get the continuing educational knowledge, specifically with regard to taking over supervisory positions and ensuring that they are providing equitable services to the community and cross collaboration. That's really appreciative. So we definitely will be reaching out. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from board members?
Sure, I would just add that I think it's a really critical time to be embarking on a strategic plan. And the pandemic, in many respects, I think underscored the important role that our library systems play in the community health and well-being of our residents. So I appreciate the intentionality on embarking on what the future of those services look like. I also appreciate, as Carlos had mentioned, really being intentional around bolstering the diversity and inclusion of our organization as well. So please let us know how we can support in that work. I think Carlos's suggestions of how the county could play a more direct role in partnering on those efforts. City of Santa Cruz is happy to assist in those endeavors as well. And just thank you for the work, and excited to see it come together.
Thank you. Director Goldstein, anything to add? You good? All right. Good. Well, I echo these comments. It is such an important time to be doing strategic planning moving forward, especially as this exciting time as we reopen so many of our library branches. So excited to see the final plan coming back to us in June. Are there any public comments on this item?
Chair Legault, there are no public comments from the Zoom audience.
Great, thank you so much. All right, well, that was our last item on our regular agenda. So next we have comments by board members. Are there any board members who'd like to make comments? Seeing none, Next is scheduled upcoming meetings. So again, our next meeting is going to be May 5th. Here as a hybrid meeting in the Felton Branch Library. And we have a few items we'll be moving forward, particularly around the budget and other upcoming priorities. So unless there are any other comments, we will go ahead and adjourn this meeting. And thank you everyone for your time and for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.